What's going on? Today we're going to talk about the 3 things every single business owner should be focused on. My name is Michael Barayev, and I was able to build a team of 150 plus sales guys in less than 2.5 years. Now we have a solar company that's growing like crazy from coast to coast like butter on toast. A lot of business owners have this mentality where they're either super focused on getting customers or super focused on operations or super focused on running around like chickens with no head. And one of the things that I realized, in order to have a successful business, at least in the beginning stages when you're starting up your company, right, from 0 to 5 million, I would say, right, what you should be focused on is these 3 pillars, okay? Now, the first one is about recruiting. What does that mean, recruiting? Your eyes and ears should be always focused on recruiting amazing talent. So like if I'm going to dinner, if I'm going to an event, if I'm going anywhere, my eyes are always looking at who's around me within 10 to 15 feet. If you're around me, I'm saying hello, I'm talking to you, I'm saying what's up. I'm not doing that to recruit that individual, but I'm looking for recruitable individuals. I'm looking for people that are looking for me. I have an opportunity, right? This is my opportunity, right? It's a nice little vehicle, okay? I don't really know how to draw, but this is my vehicle. In my situation, it's my business, right? It's me, my company, right? In your situation, it's your business. So you need to fill up your car, your vehicle, with a bunch of people to help you get to the promised land because you cannot do it by yourself. Nothing great happens by yourself. Jeff Bezos is not doing it by himself. Warren Buffett is not doing it by himself. Any person you pick on any of the Forbes lists, they're not are ever going to do it by themselves. You need people to accomplish that, and you need great people. Especially the bigger the mission, the bigger the vision, the more you need to focus on recruiting the right kind of people. Because you can recruit the wrong type of person into your business, and I promise you, it'll be headaches. I've made that mistake before. I've had some people that I recruited, and I was like, damn. Looking back, and I was like, damn, I should have did more research on the individual, looked more to their history, looked more to who they are as an individual and their character base. Because I made some bad decisions in recruiting, some very, very, very bad partners, bad employees, bad everything, right? So you got to be very careful, especially when it comes to recruiting your significant other. That's the best recruit you need to have. So for some of you guys that are single right now, if you recruit the wrong person, oh my God, God bless your soul. You're going to have a nightmare for 20, 30 years, right? So very, very important to recruit the right type of people. Very important, right? And when you're recruiting people, what I always say is don't recruit based on only skill set, right? There's 2 things you want to recruit for, right? Number 1 is obviously you want to have skill set, but number 2 is the foundation. Right? Which is everything. It's the character of the individual. It's the belief systems, right? It's the belief systems, right? The belief systems. It's not bullshit. Belief system, okay? It's their values, right? It's their principles. It's what they believe in, how they communicate, how they interact. Who are they? What are they about? Because if you hire an amazing person with an amazing skill set, but their character is flawed, believe me, that's a problem in your business. Huge problem. And most people, you know how they recruit? Through skill set only. That's the challenge. Because you're trying to build a sales team, let's say, and you're recruiting a person that has sales experience. Whereas if you just focused on hiring people and finding people and partnering with people that have a good belief system, great values, great principles, they believe in the right vision and mission that you have portrayed, it's much easier to train them on the skills. Yeah, make a little bit more time, but it's very difficult to find people like this. If I recruit the wrong person that doesn't match that character, guess what happens? They don't survive long enough with me. Because they don't have the same value system as me, right? Just like, for example, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs. Not that it's a bad thing for you. Listen, you want to do your thing, do your thing. But me personally, I don't live around that life. So the people that I hang out with, they don't call me or spend time doing that shit. Because I don't have the same value, right? But if I was always smoking doobies all the time, guess what? All my friends would be smoking doobies. Because I'll be surrounded by that value system. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing or good. I'm just telling you my preference, right? You want to make sure that when you're recruiting the right people in your company, they have the right character, they have the right belief system, the right values, right principles, and the right skill set. Okay? Next, let's go talk about revenue. Many business owners have this mindset that, revenue is not important. Okay? And when I say revenue is not important, they're so focused on building the equity in their company. Which to me is like, I don't understand. There's so many companies right now that have a lot of valuations. Our company is a unicorn company, billions of dollars, but they have very little revenue. You know what tells me if a business is a good idea or not? And listen, I may be wrong, but what tells me a business is good or a business is bad is when customers are willing to give you the most valuable thing in their life. Money or time. If employees and partners are willing to give me their time to build this company, and customers are willing to give me their most valued, precious asset, which is money, then that means that what? The idea of the product or service is an amazing product or service. So why would I not focus on revenue? To me, the lifeline of a business is revenue. And even after that, to be even more direct, it's more of the cash flow. Most people don't have cash flowing businesses. I have a friend of mine who literally spent a decade in startup companies in all these different places. And he sees how everybody chases this vision of being an entrepreneur. They're a CEO of a tech company. Who gives a shit? What matters is how much money you're making. They have all these accolades and all this nonsense, but they have no money. They're literally eating ramen noodles. I literally know CEOs that have high evaluations, 30, 40, $59 million evaluations, and they're literally eating ramen noodles. I swear to you. It's the craziest concept. Not because they're bad people, it's because they haven't learned how to get revenue. Or it's because they love their product so much, they don't realize that not everyone loves that product. I don't give a shit if people like my product or not. I've sold everything under the sun. Almost everything, except houses and cars. That's the only thing I never really sold, right? And boats, okay? But I sold almost everything. I sold a lot of products. I did it door to door. I did it store to store. I did it on every single floor. I did it. I understand how people work. People will not give you their money unless they like the service or want the service. So I'm going to focus on giving people what they want, not selling them what I want. And a lot of business owners make the mistake. They want to sell their beautiful art painting and they think that everyone's going to love it. I'm sorry, buddy. Who cares about your art painting? If the customer doesn't care about it, then you shouldn't care about it either. I'm not saying it's not your passion. Do your passion. Take care of it. Paint at nighttime. I'm okay with that. But if you really want to create a business out of it, you need to make sure people want it and they need it, right? And that's why revenue is extremely important. Focus on getting income to the business. Most people, they're sitting at home twiddling their thumbs hoping customers will come to them. You got to go get that revenue. You got to go chase it. You got to go increase the revenue. And don't worry about the expenses right now. Just get as much revenue as possible. Obviously, you want to work on lowering those expenses, but the main problem you have is the revenue. And that's what I focused on. Every business I ever did was always cash flow positive for me. Why is that? Because it's extremely important. I understand that's the bloodline of the business. Without cash flow, without revenue, I'm doomed. So what I got really good at is going out there and creating massive revenue, massive cash flow, right? And some businesses are very difficult to create cash flow because you don't get paid right away. But you can create good cash flow. If you know how to do your books properly, if you know how to, systematize your business properly, if you know how to leverage other people's time, other people's money to help you cash flow better, right? And it's always about sales. Sales are very important. Next, retention. This is important. This is the last thing that you should focus on as a business owner. Retention, to me, equals the one word: leadership. People don't quit companies. People quit people. Every time somebody quits in my company, they didn't quit the company, they quit me. Every time we fire somebody, we didn't fire them because they're a bad person. It's because we got rid of them. Because we quit on people. We don't believe that person can win here. So we're like, hey, deuces, go find another place. People quit on people, right? People don't quit companies. They quit on people. And leadership is the most important thing to retain people. If you cannot retain your people, right? If you cannot retain your partners, if you cannot retain your customers, if you cannot retain your vendors, like you need to retain those people. You need to retain them. And with retention comes what? Relationships. Most people don't understand that in order to have great retention, you need to build relationships. We don't have a high cancellation rate in our company with customers because we build relationships with them. Because we teach our sales how to create relationships. We teach our team how to create relationships. Everything in our business, I always tell my guys, focus on the customer experience. Make the customer feel like $1,000,000 and they will never cancel on you. Customers don't cancel. I have a customer right now that had a situation where his bill had to, his loan had to be doubled because of a small situation. So I had to go back to him and re-sign him up. I didn't want to do that, but it was a circumstance that had to happen. But he trusted me enough because I built a good enough relationship. And I didn't screw him. I helped him. I took care of him. I did the best that I could. But because the reason why he trusted me was because of my relationship with him. Because I've been there for him. Every time he called me, I always answered. Every time he emailed me, I emailed him back. Every time he needed something, whether it was a nighttime or in the morning time, I was there for him. And that's what it's all about. It's about relationships. And that's a great retention. If you want to keep your people, keep your teams, keep your money in your pocket, learn how to retain people with your leadership. And if you do so, I promise you, what will end up happening, you'll create massive loyalty. Loyalty in your business, people will love you, they care for you, and they'll do anything for you and with you because they believe in what you are and believe in who you are as a person. Because you created that relationship with them. So with that being said, hopefully you got something valuable out of this. Don't forget, okay, recruiting, revenue, and retention. Focus on those three things, and I promise you, this year, or the next 24 months, you can build your company from $1 million to $10 million easily. All from focusing on those three things. So I appreciate you guys. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, do me a solid favor, subscribe to the channel. Right now, we're focused on getting 100,000 plus subscribers. We're growing little by little, cinch by cinch. You know, yard by yard, it's hard, but it's okay. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. And if you have not yet shared this video with someone, I appreciate you once again for sharing it. And we'll see you guys in the next video.